Hello everyone, welcome back to What If Deku Hid the Soul of Horror Frisk or Horror Chara. I can't remember which one now. Anyways, welcome everyone, welcome. Well, today this What If will be it would be more on the dark side of things. I'm trying to find my notes, sorry. I should have done this before the video. Where was it? I believe it was right. It was right here we go. Okay. That's one day. Use the magic basket, remember stuff. Okay, I have my notes. I'm reading them right now. This is like gonna be like the last Undertale. What if I do? They're too flippin' complicated to deal with in my part. So yeah, I might stop doing Undertale what ifs after I finish all my Undertale series. I'm just gonna like end it there with like any Undertale what ifs. Anyways, where was I? I was okay. Now I need this. My other notes. Had it all over here. Magic. There we go. Here we go. Where is the backstory? I don't care for backstories on the book. Okay, I am back after reading a short encyclopedia, if you will, or information. Midoriya would be gaining a new ability. Not due to his strength, weaponry, or items, but due to something else. So sadly, I cannot go to the dark route. Sadly for me. I wanted to go to the darkness very quickly, but I can't, sadly. So this video would be on, I guess, right before the dark route appears. So let's get started. It's game time. Midoriya waking up and looking at Frisk. What happened? Or what? As he would get glimpses of the entrance exams from his memories. As he would sit back down and practically just faint back. As Rock would be shocked, but at the same time would be confused due to him after practically having holes inside of him with them where the metal fibers were now just, you know, regeneration skin practically, or, you know, green magic. As this would activate Midoriya's next ability. This being fireballs, or fire magic technically. Able to arrange a very high class tsunami of fire to fireballs, flamethrower, and a couple other ways of using fire. Waves of fire, fireball rings, fireballs. He can make it rain fire and practically make flaming spirals. So yes, a lot of things that have to do with fire. But for now, he'll only use the fireballs and, you know, some of the high class magical, you know, moves. So yes. Seeing this, Midoriya, or in this mind skip, sorry, he's in this mind skip. As Uraka and the recovery go will be looking at his wounds, noticing that they healed completely. Uraka just came in here just to say hello. And thank you for saving me. But they're not. But Midoriya is not conscious, so yeah, gotta be spoiled. And what will happen next? In a couple hours, Midoriya would wake up. There'd be really nothing in the mindset between chatter between Frisk and him. Eventually, he does wake up. And, does say, "You're welcome" to Uraka. After that, Recovery Girl does question him on his so-called quirk, you can say. No quirk in history can, recreate organs and, just regenerate organs and other things without any type of pain at all. So, yeah. Midoriya doesn't know much about it. He actually barely knows very little about his healing magic. But when it comes to self-healing, he knows a decent portion. All he knows is that, his ability allows aura to travel through his body at an accelerating rate to practically speed up the process of regeneration. Or enhance his body physically to regenerate faster. After being impaled by like 17 things, Midoriya's body would have eventually enhanced itself to the point where Midoriya's body would have increased in height. Whew, sorry. Would have an increase in height. After that, his body mass and other things would have increased. Of course, he would be a little weak due to, his new body mass and not having any food. So he would go get food and start eating. And that's practically, he would get about a decent grade in the entry exam. He'll get exactly either a B plus or an A plus, or just a normal A for the entry exam. Anyways, let's continue on the what if. At this point, Midoriya would have gotten food and would have started teaching himself the fundamentals of his own magic. Being able to use Asgard's magic right now due to having his body enhanced into more of a self-giving HP, XP thing. The more damage you take, the more HP you get, and the more you heal, the more HP you get. Of course, it's not by that much, but due to it being severe damage, Midoriya would have leveled up at least, I believe he'll say either level 2 to 3. I'll say now he's about a level 3 to 4, to be precise. He'd now be able to use all types of fire magics and other things like that. Same with a couple of items, but those items will be the, I believe, trident. With this trident, Midoriya would have had his eyes glow red to orange, and in a dramatic fashion, blinking on and off, practically making the trident like a, how do you say, flying Mjolnir hammer. Practically. The only difference is that the trident doesn't allow him to fly. That's the only difference. As now, let's go to the next situation. After unlocking these, due to Deku being weak at the time, the container or cylinder that compressed of the soul, the red soul, would have been cracked twice now. One for, being in a weak status, and the other technically due to someone wanting to break out of that stasis, you could say. Or cylinder. Of course, though, that it was, you know, they were able to get freed for a little bit, but after that, you know, Midoriya kind of, you know, got his consciousness back and, you know, continued to practically have it in kind of like a Nine-Tails thing, like, you're kind of locked up now when he's awake, so yeah. No. I'm not sure. I believe Midoriya lives by himself, I believe. I believe so. Either that or he still has his mother. But I'm not sure since I usually kill off Inko in most of my what ifs, so yeah. Or at least are about to. Because we need trauma. At the time, he would be going. No, I actually believe his mother's still alive, actually, surprisingly. I believe this is like the only what if that I don't have Inko dead. Surprisingly. So he would go to his household. Practically just relax, chill, avoid a lot of things like Bakugo, and continue on. In these weeks, Midoriya would start training, you know, his fire magic. Training his fire magic, it would now hit the 2 weeks, and it would be the first day of UA. As Midoriya would get up from his bed, my head. Okay, it's ready. I'm ready now. Let's go. Come on, Frisk. Let's go. As him and Frisk kind of got used to working with each other, by the time of, you know, working on Asgore's magic, or practically Deku's magic, technically. Now, there will be the ending of the weeks. The first day of UA. They would both get up, get ready, and skedaddle practically. Or more lines Deku, more lines get ready. Then Frisk will. So thank you, Christian White, for the idea for Asgore's magic. And now, let's continue on. I have like a couple more minutes until I gotta stop the video. As Midoriya would walk into the doors of UA. And eventually meet, you know, Bakugo Katsuki and Ida Tensei, I think. Ida something. I don't really care since Ida isn't really an important character, but anyways. Yeah. Ida meets Bakugo, and Ida, as I said before, due to Deku's personality change, he wouldn't really care about Bakugo all that much. I mean, Bakugo would be, you know, Bakugo would be a bit nicer in this what if. Of course, I'm still gonna dog walk him when it comes up heroes versus villains, but I mean, we all know what's practically gonna happen. Boom Boom Boy go to Green Hair Boy. Green Hair Boy kicks his ass. Boom Boom Boy go to Recovery Girl. Practically. If you're wondering what Deku's hero suit is, well, I guess it's the one his mother made. Nah, because he wouldn't really care about that, because it would have been destroyed during the entry exam. I'll say it would be like a heavy-duty jacket or something. It'd be like a very heavy, like a very fluffy jacket, or like a very heavy jacket, in general. For like, I don't know, like stuffing things in, like weapons in general. Due to Deku now leveling up by like the 3 to 4 level, he would be getting items, which he wouldn't have to, you know, put. Of course, he does have the trident, which people do question the trident, but due to Deku proving that this trident is quote unquote a part of his quirk, they would practically just, you know, leave it alone. If you're wondering how he proved it, the trident's able to be summoned and desummoned by Midoriya at will. It kind of just spawns on his back, really. So he can just, you know, just toss it at people and then move it around in the air and whatnot. Actually, now that I think he probably can fly, honestly, if he learned how to ride the trident, honestly, using magic. Or just riding a Gaster Blaster, realistically. So, I mean, yeah. Did I give him a Gaster Blaster? I don't think I did. At least I'm not going to. So, yeah. As what would happen next? Hold up, we did the Heroes vs. Villains, USJ, yes. Let's go to the USJ. Midoriya would be walking through the USJ and feeling anxious. Not just anxious, but he would feel some sort of uncomfort. He doesn't know why, but he feels like something is off. And this would inevitably be facts, or true. As a portal will open up and villains will start popping out of portals. And practically, Midoriya would, not Midoriya, but Aizawa would call out, "Everyone stay back!" As Midoriya would stay back, yes, but before he can try to, you know, ask people to leave, Midoriya would inevitably get teleported, same with Ida. Meaning that there are no recruits or, you know, other heroes to help them in. Meaning that it'll take a bit more longer to have All Might there than usual. Having Midoriya having to heal a lot of people, you can say, after getting bit or, you know, beat up by the villains in the water, he would have to heal Mineta. And then continue to heal Mineta's organs from being drowned by Asui, or Sue, due to her drowning Mineta, for reasons. At the time, they would try to find a way off the boat. Midoriya wouldn't know how to, but he would find a way to, how do you say, move the boat or drive the boat. I don't know why, but like, I don't know why they didn't think of this, but I mean, they could have just driven the boat. So I mean, yeah. So they practically drive the boat to shore. If you're wondering how Midoriya defeated all the villains, easy. He used Mineta's sticky ball quirk to kind of throw across the water. And then kind of use the fire quirk to have them stick together. And then blast them with fire. Of course, though, since it is magical fire, it does, you know, go through flames. Or at least is a little bit resistant to water. Sorry, not flames, water. Not, you know, I mean, of course it's not like Omatratsu or like a cremation, or not cremation, but, you know, it's not like, you know, just infinite, you know, burning underwater. It's more of like, it has at least a good 10 to 5 seconds underwater before, you know, it evaporates back into, you know, smoke, or, you know, just turns into matter. Now that we have Midoriya on the land, Midoriya would see a very, how would you say, a very worrying face. Aizawa would still save Asui though, but in return would get punched in the face unconscious and would be beaten upon by the Nomu. As Midoriya would find out, you know, the hard way by you know, getting 3 punches in by the Nomu, he would very easily find out that this thing isn't human at all. Or use the ability I told you before, I think in the last episode, I believe he can say, not specifically say or see quirks, but he has this vision where he can see, you know, the different colors of quirks. Which I do believe I did give him in this What If. If I didn't, I'm giving it to him now. And realize that this thing isn't human. As inevitably, he would, you know, this is Sparta. He would point the trident at the Nomu's head. And fire! Woo! Poof. Nomu dead. Oh, and he didn't stop it there. The Nomu was regenerating even after getting shot in the head. But yeah, this man Midoriya, he ain't taking no caution. So he was like, I bet fire, just tsunami of fire, just obliterating the Nomu, just decremating the Nomu practically, just with fire. Making sure the Nomu's regeneration is not unable to practically take effect. After that, honestly, Shigaraki would actually run away and have Kirigiri teleport him away. After finding a very useful quirk, he would have went to go to One for All. Or All for One, sorry. After this happening, there would be something else. Midoriya would feel this sort of malice intent, if you will, within inside of himself. He wouldn't know what it would be, but he would know that this malice intent is a little, you know, a little bit too human-like, if you will, to be normal. As now, let's go to the, hold up, 2 weeks, or like, I believe it was 2 weeks, 2 weeks training. After that, they would inevitably train, or at least Midoriya would. In training, he wouldn't gain any levels, but he would gain, you know, some items. And these items would be a little bit off the record, you would say. Let me see what items I can give him. I have like a lot of items I can give him. Double shield, 12 defense, 2 shields connected with a strap. Sad. You have no one to share it with. This will be more of a belt or a vest, if you will, towards Deku's part. It would more of lines be a shield on the front and then the back side of his back, making sure no one's able to, you know, attack him, you know, directly without attacking his sides. Or at least, you know, mainly his weakness is his sides. And let's see what else I can give him. Orange. Okay, another item I'm giving Midoriya. Ballistic helmet, 9 defense. An ancient ballistic helmet for military duty. William J. Okay, that's not important. Is written on the base with a sharp. Okay, and that's not important either. It doesn't fit you. Okay. So practically he has 2 items, I believe. He gained. He has the chassis that gives him 12 defense, and he has a helmet that gives him 9 defense. So his defense is going up slowly but surely. So yeah. Yes, maybe not by much, but I mean by, you know, Undertale logic, I guess it's a lot, but I mean, yeah. So he would be given these 2 items, and would use it to his, you know, best ability. I'm pretty sure I just got myself on my desk. Ow, that hurt. Nope, nothing there. Ow, that did hurt though. Let's continue. After, you know, getting some items, Midoriya would start training in more of a not tactical, but more of a sword, not sword, but more of a attacker based. His soul would be made for defense, but he would try, you know, due to attacking being his, you know, kind of weakness technically, he would work on attack. Yes, you know, it may not increase by much, but his attack power would increase by at least by 5 or by 10 by the end of the 2 weeks. So I'm making slow progress, but still getting a lot of defense in, you know, return. So he has a very good regeneration factor, not just that, but he has a lot of health, and he has items that can help him defend with his defense. Help with his healing process as well. Not healing process, but more like decline, you know, attack. Meaning that you're gonna have to practically fight Midoriya. Very, how do you say? You gotta fight him on the sides. The only way you're gonna be able to do damage to Midoriya, or at least by any type of actual, you know, killing damage, you're gonna have to go for the sides. I mean, yes, you can go for the front and back, but it'll be a lot more harder than if you just go to the sides. By this time, Midoriya would have, you know, his trident on his back with, you know, the chassis and the, you know, helmet, the war helmet. And practically get ready for the... what did I say again? I believe I said Sports Festival, because we did the USJ, so yeah, Sports Festival. Let's start this shit. Showing that these are his quote-unquote quirk, part of his quirk, people will think he would have some type of leveling up or, you know, item craftery quirk. Some type of quirk that after every time he, you know, would train for a certain amount, he would get items. Which, they're not wrong, but, you know, they're not right. Due to it, yes, they are right, he does get those, but it's not from his quirk, since it technically isn't a quirk. and it can't be shut off. Since, you know, there are physical items, you can't, you know, I mean, they are physical items, so, I mean, yes, you can, you know, it will stop him from, you know, teleporting items from here to, from there, but it really depends on who goes and, you know, who has the first move. Because if Midoriya gets his first move, he can very easily go into his mindscape, get his, you know, items, and then come back into reality. As, you know, the time will stop and, you know, resume, practically. As the first person he would go versus would be Todoroki. Or not first person, but yeah, practically Todoroki. At the time, Todoroki would be in his emo phase, and Midoriya, due to being a lot more smarter, he would, you know, spit some stuff. It's your quirk, not yours. He would still do the Takano Jutsu. So, practically, you know, Todoroki would still use his fire. As the final attack would appear, they both do, you know, attacks. As, you know, Midoriya would be seen on the ground, unconscious. But Todoroki would be seen out of bounds and unconscious. Meaning that the technical winner is Midoriya, since he is, you know, not yes, he may be unconscious, but he's at least in the ring, unlike Todoroki. I'm giving Deku a power of Asgore, which is like, what was it called? Oh, Whirl Flames? What was it? Hold up, I had it like right here in my notes. Here we go. Ah, snap. Speed. Okay, here we go. Magic. Okay. He'll do something like a fire wave or like a fire tsunami-ish way. So not just to overpower Todoroki's own fire, but to also overpower his ice. The only reason Midoriya is still in the actual arena is because he has the items on him that has extra defense. He may not be conscious, but you know, he still won. So I mean, yeah, it is because of the items that he won. As in recovery office, they are both regaining their consciousness. And now, let's go on to the next. As you know, Tokayami, everyone else fight. As now, it's Bakugo versus the great Midoriya, Zuka Midoriya. Now, within seconds, Midoriya, how do you say? He wants to make it fair for Bakugo. The only reason Bakugo won is because his input was stronger than Todoroki's fire and ice output. That's the only reason Bakugo won, because his input was faster than his Todoroki's output. Due to, you know, Midoriya not having both, he would take off his, not just his, you know, helmet, but he would also take off his chassis. And then reveal the great Midoriya. As now, it would be Midoriya versus Bakugo Katsuki. And now, practically, there would be, what was it? What he uses as trident. I don't think he'll need the trident, because the trident's more for lethal things. So Midoriya would get rid of all of his items, or at least put them back in his inventory. And what would he get? How he would actually grab out a stick. I mean, yes, he is, he is very powerful in his own right, but his attack power isn't that high. It's not really that high. He's more for medics and whatnot. So he would kind of, yes, he does want to, give Bakugo an equal chance in fighting him, but he's not stupid. He will give a stick. A stick, I believe, either gives you 3 attack, or 1 attack, or I think it was like 5 attack. I can't remember which it gives you, but it gives you some sort of attack. We all know how this ends up. So Midoriya practically dodges the explosions of Bakugo Katsuki, blasting him with all he got. Howitzer impact, AP shot, everything. Midoriya would be dodging it all. Why? Because they do significant damage. I mean, yes, he does have somewhat, resistance to flames due to him using flame magic. But, I mean, it's practically a grenade, so he a little bit, fireproof, but he ain't grenade proof, so I mean, yeah. He does dodge, but, eventually, Bakugo does find a way how to, attack Deku, shooting an AP shot and distracting him, and then, using a Howitzer impact. Inevitably, Midoriya would use his stick to dodge, or, defend, using, kind of going in defense mode. Not dodging, but, blocking the attack. And this would end up in the stick actually breaking, leaving only Bakugo Katsuki and Izuku Midoriya. Midoriya, by now, he stops playing around, so by the time he's like, okay, you had your fun, now let's do this. Fire wave, fire spiral. As he would inevitably shoot out a spiral of flames, inevitably shooting at Bakugo, shooting all the fire attacks he has, or fire magical spells, or whatever you want to call them. He attacks them. Inevitably, that was all a distraction for Midoriya to actually run out and just get Bakugo Katsuki in a chokehold, and this is where it happens. Yeah, his name is Chuck. I need to stop with the WWE references. As he would body slam Bakugo to the ground, and can, practically end up just kicking him in the gut, blowing all the wind out of him. And that's how, Midoriya wins. Hopefully you all like this, and all.